Actually, Nicole, when she first met with Don Jr., said Tiana was the weakest member, so I believe that Nicole first threw Tiana under the bus. But can I just finish, Mr. Trump? You'll have your say, Nicole. Let me finish, Mr. Trump. I'm sorry.
It's the district attorney over here, so we have to listen.
I'm trying to be respectful.
This is what happened. So the most critical part of the entire task was that 3-hour time period when the artist was coming. And if I were the project manager, I would have had art designer sitting in on that meeting. Instead, she was getting sandwiches and supplies with me and Brandy. That's a critical mistake.
Speak on that?
No, you can't until I'm finished. Can I finish, Mr. Trump?
All right, real quick.
Okay, she didn't, you say the great leader should have a plan B. She didn't even have a plan A. In fact,
Okay, thank you. You have a lot to say, don't you?
Mr. Trump, she was awful.
Are you a little surprised that the team is being a little bit vicious toward you so early and you don't even know if you lost?
I am a little surprised. As far as delegation, I think I did delegate, but I kept passing off the ball saying, okay, you guys handle the paint, and then I felt like it got passed back to me. I think that this is a total misrepresentation of what happened.
Okay, let's take a look on the screen at your office. Men first.
Sure.
Maybe that's not so bad. How do you feel about that?
I like that space. I hope that's not the conference room, though.
I don't like that. It's way too colorful. It looks like a kid's playroom.
Well, it's Soho.
It is actually Soho. It's supposed to be a little bit hip.
Yeah, it's urban, hip, funky.
Let me see the men's boardroom, please. It's a lot of activity.
Yeah, and those aren't conference chairs either.
No, not at all.
Those actually are chairs that one normally has at a conference
Right,
table.
I agree.
But your table is so small, Gene. It's just so small and so weak. Who liked it? Somebody said they liked it.
I stood up for it.
Why?
We weren't going for a boardroom feel. We were going for more of an open conference area where people could come together and wouldn't be as formal as a
But you could only
boardroom.
seat 6 people at the table. I
Yes.
mean, that's not really an open conference area if you can only sit 6 people at a table. I mean, how do you even... I've never seen a meeting with less than 6 people.
Well, we also had the breakout space, which had seating for 9 and standing room. We tried to incorporate multiple interactive spaces.
All right, I want to see the women's office.
Nicole, who's the guy behind the desk in the picture?
We like to call him Uncle 40.
You can ask Tiana about that one.
We knew we needed a piece
No,
of
but
art.
Tiana, was that your picture?
Right, Masa and I were looking for a picture.
I know, but how did you pick a guy that, I don't know who this poor guy is, but he had no relevance to anything?
Because, well, we needed artwork, and so...
But given the contemporary workspace you were told to build, that looks like a 200-year-old law firm, the original founding partner looking over your desk. I mean, that doesn't feel modern to me.
We just needed artwork up there, and it had to match the style of that room.
All right, let's see the next one. Well, that's all right. That's not so bad. Do you think that's a little bit more of a reception area than yours, Gene?
You know, I'll give it credit for it being a little bit, yeah, the desk. I mean, I'll give it credit for being a little bit more receptive.
I'm not in love with that desk.
Is there room
I do
for
like the
clients?
fact that
Is there-
you walk in
Yeah,
and there's something.
It's definitive.
All right, I want to see the women's boardroom, please. That's almost boring. I don't love the chairs. I don't love the color of the wood. I do like the fact that there's a television right smack in your view. That's a great thing, very much like we're looking at right now. I mean, you turn to the right and you have a television. But I don't love either boardroom. And in fact, I didn't love either space, okay? What can I tell you? What can I tell you? Ivanka, what do you think?
I prefer the men's whole setup. I like the fact that it was open plan. I think given the size of the space and the lack of room, having the rooms closed off is constrictive. And it really just closes in the space. I like the color, I like the lightness. I far preferred it.
John?
Well, I tend to actually agree. I mean, they were given the assignment of a modern workspace, and you definitely did that. If I wanted to work at a 200-year-old law firm, the ladies is definitely the way to go. But people today, you know, they congregate, they get together. I mean, people work collectively. And in a small space, in Soho, in downtown New York, I think that was the way to go.
Thank you.
Well, look, I don't love either. I don't love either. But in this case, I have to tell you, I agree with Don and Ivanka. So I'm giving this victory to the men. I like their space better. I like the openness. I like the work they did with the art. And I think that was done by James, right, James?
Yep.
James,
all
absolutely.
I think James has some latent talent. So congratulations. And this season on The Apprentice, when you win as project manager, you're going to meet with top CEOs and business leaders. And Gene, you're going to meet one of the best of them all. You know who that is? Me. And we're going to have some fun. You're
Yes,
going to
sir.
love being the winning project manager.
Thank you, sir.
Go back to your room right now. You can watch, if you want, these people go through hell.
We wouldn't miss it.
Have a good time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Best of luck, guys.
Good.
Women, you're going to stay here. Somebody will be fired. Ladies, I just didn't like your work. I liked aspects of the men's work. I'm not a big fan of what they did. I just thought it was sort of a cooler office.
It was modern, and that was the mandate of this task.
Why did you lose, Tiana?
Lack of leadership.
That's tough. It's a tough statement. I think she leads maybe in a different way, but I think a good leader. I love the way she greeted me. I love the way she took me around. There's nothing bad about that kind of leadership. Lisa, why'd you lose?
Ultimately, the goal was to create something that you walked in and you felt it was a modern workspace, and so we would have to say that it was part of the creative, part of the people who picked the color scheme.
Who was in charge of design? For me, when I hear that the mandate is to design a modern office space, I wouldn't choose leather wingback chairs.
I would say Nicole.
Would you agree with that, Nicole?
I would say it was a joint effort between myself and Tiana. And I think that that's true because I wanted to use
Is that
Tiana.
true, Tiana?
I think we split. I would say yes.
Do you think you should be fired for that, Tiana?
Absolutely not, because the most modern aspects, like the reception area, I chose.
Brandy, who should I fire?
I understand that it's a difficult choice, but, you know, Nicole took a very large risk and would certainly be reveling in the joy of the victory. And as such, she should be willing and understand when she has to accept
And in what way
responsibility
did she
for a
take a
loss.
risk? Other than working with you killers. You are killers. You are brutal.
They are brutal. Wow.
You notice they didn't even know that they had lost
No.
before they started ripping each other's hair
No,
out.
they didn't.
In what way did she take a risk?
Volunteering to be the project manager. I mean, we
Did you
hadn't
volunteer?
I did.
Could have
And
been a mistake, right?
It could have.
Brandy, how about just generally not supporting one's boss and leader? I mean, Masa was brutal. I mean, you were so excited to
truth.
speak and to yell and to...
I'm surprised.
I was shocked.
I am too.
You didn't know you had lost.
Because it would be an injustice if anyone was fired here except her. She didn't tell us what was going on. Everything that she did was by consensus. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we should do this? And I pushed her. Did I not push you? Did I? Let me finish. I pushed her and I said to her, I just lost my train of thought.
That's
Mr.
enough.
Trump.
You lost your train
No,
of thought.
Mr. Trump, several.
Poppy, who should I fire?
If you're going on leadership, which is the job of the PM, it should be Nicole. I know that you think
Okay,
she's a great
and
leader.
as a